Welcome everybody back to the RMF Academy YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about cybersecurity, career, and life. And I'm your host to the channel, Christopher Paula, Information Systems Security Officer inside the GovTech space. And this video is going to be about what do you do when you first work as an ISSO? A lot of people ask me this question. So in this video, we're going to go directly and talk about what do you do on your first day of being an ISSO. So this is for your first day as a ISSO. What does the job actually look like? So you got the job, now what? You got your security plus, you did your interview, you got your job offer, and it's your first day. What are you supposed to do? That's what a lot of people question when you first get your job as an information system security officer or in the GRC space. So this is going to help you understand what you do when your first day job happens and what you need to do on your first day. So we're going to get straight into it. So the rule number one, I just want to give to everybody that's trying to get into this role. Remember, don't try to fix everything. When you first coming in, you're thinking, oh yeah, I need to fix everything. You're never going to fix everything. You're coming in to learn. These processes been in place. The system, how it works, is already been in place. You're not trying to fix everything. When you first get your job is to understand what your job is. So you got to understand the people, you got to understand the systems, you got to understand the documentation, problems, priorities, talking points for this. Don't walk into a new environment trying to prove you know how much you know or how much you know in general. Learn how the environment operates first. Understand, this is the environment, this is how it works, this is what I'm supposed to do. You just want to come there just to understand. Okay? So we're going to get into the actual steps. Step one, you need to learn the people. Who does what? Who is the ISM? Who is the security manager? Who's the system owner? Who's the system administrators? Who are the network and cloud engineers? Who are the control owners? Who are the program or project managers? Who's the authorizing officials? Who's the assessors? Just so that you know, you need to know who to talk to when you need answers. When you get into a lot of this time when you're coming in as an ISSO, you need to understand the system. And a lot of times you might not know everything. It's okay, you might not know everything. You're not going to know everything as an ISSO. But what you need to do is know who you can get the answers from. So remember that RMF is a team sport, and ISSO isn't supposed to know everything. Every technical detail, nothing. You're going to have to ask a lot of questions. And to be very honest with you, you're going to have to ask a lot of questions in this position. Step two, understand your system. The biggest thing, you got to understand the mistakes I've made in the past. A lot of times you thinking you're ISSO, you just got to do what you're supposed to do. But a lot of times you don't try to understand what your system is and what it does or how it supports what. You need to understand what the system is and what is it doing. So what am I responsible for is a good question. What does the system do? Where's the authorization boundary? What technologies are used for? What system does to connect to connect? Where is it hosted? Who uses the system? So the bottom line, get the network system architecture diagram, learn as much as you can, look at the SSP documentation, and talk to as many people you can to understand the system. Step three, you got to get access. So what you got to do is after you do all your online training or your cybersecurity training and everything, you got to get access to what you need to do your job. Get access to EMAS or whatever GRC platform that you use. And if you need to use EMAS, go on RMF Academy. We always have an EMAS simulator on there in case you want to practice in the environment before you go into a real one. Get access to the SharePoints, the document places where all the documents located. Check out the vulnerability management tools. Get access to those. Ticketing systems, SCAP tools, STIGs, policies, procedures, security documentation. Get access to all that because you're going to need that. Your first few days may involve a lot of waiting for accounts, but it's going to just take some time. Just make sure you put those requests in. Whenever you get access to it is whenever you get access to it. So you got step three, just get access to the systems. Step four, find out about the ATO package. As an ISSO, you got to understand what the ATO package is. Some instances, you just have to create the documentation. Somebody else use the EMAS package. Some cases, you need to know when your ATO is. So make sure you get a track on the documentation. the SSP, how many controls are implemented, how many POAMs that we have, security control, just check about all the assessments and the results for it. The diagrams, look how the system works, policy and process SOPs, check that out. Check out all the artifacts that you have. Overall, what I want you to understand from this, don't start changing these things yet. Understand the current state of the current package so you know how to act about it. Step 5, where are we in the RMF process? 7 steps of the RMF process. You got prepare, categorize, select, implement, assess, authorize, and continuous monitoring. So you need to understand what part of the RMF process that you're in. Are you in the beginning stages? Are you at the end stages? You need to understand what stages that you're in so you can move and process in the RMF space. So when you're coming on, make sure you just try to get an understanding of that. Where is your system today? A lot of people want to know, it's a question you ask, where is your system at today? Is there a new ATO? Is there an existing ATO? Is there a reauthorization? Is there continuous monitoring? Is there upcoming assessment? Your priorities depends on answers. So ask these questions when you come in, because you got to understand this. If you don't understand this, you won't know how to move as an ISSO, because you got to kind of guide up on this process, because sometimes you might be the only person on the team. Sometimes it might be many people on your team. So you need to make sure you understand what these processes are and what step of the RMF process that you're in. Step 6, what you can do once you start getting in, figure out what's broken. There's some different things that I would do. When I come into a system, what I would do is just check on the POAMs. How many POAMs? Do we have POAMs? What are the vulnerabilities? STIG findings, control gaps. What are we missing? Just try to understand that before you can start moving. Sometimes you just got to step back, just look at what's going on so you can understand what is going on with your system so you can start putting out those fires as they come. Don't randomly just pick work. Figure out what carries the most risk and what has the closest deadline. So just start looking about what's going on if you're a new ISSO. Step 7, start reviewing the controls. For example, if you use Excel sheet, you use EMAS. And again, if you ever want to use the EMAS simulator, definitely check out RMF Academy. And I'll put the link down below. So if you're looking at different controls, right? For example, AC2, account management. What does the control require? Is it in the SSP? What do we actually do? Where's the evidence? Does this evidence prove the rock bottom? Requirement, implementation, evidence, validation. Just remember that when you're coming in. That's how you review and start reviewing the controls if you never did that before. So these are some of the questions that you should ask as a new ISSO, just so you can understand what's going on with the system. What are the biggest security and compliance issues? When is our next assessment? What POAMs are currently open? What controls am I responsible for? Where are our artifacts stored? Who owns each technical area? How often are vulnerability scans performed? What deadlines are coming up? What does my manager need from me weekly? Sometimes you got to ask these questions, or you take the charge on certain things, but these are some of the questions you should ask if you're a new ISSO. Your first 30 days as an ISSO. These are some things I would do. Week 1, learn, understand the system, and just understand who your team is. Second week, review the SSP, control POAMs, and evidence. Week 3, organize, identify gaps, owners, and deadlines. Week 4, execute, start fixing gaps, and document process. The bottom line, learn, review, organize, execute. That's what I would do. Your first week is learn as much as you can. First 3 weeks, learn, organize, start putting processes in place, and you'll be good as an ISSO. So this is something I just want everybody to know and understand. When you're working as an ISSO, remember this for everybody. You don't need to know everything on day 1. You need to know what you protect, who you work with, where the risks are, what needs to happen next. So if you're a new ISSO in the space, just remember that you're not going to know everything. You might know some things, you might know a little bit, but remember, you're not going to know everything. So you just got to put things in process. You're never going to know everything. They're not expecting you to know everything. So if you like this video, remember, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and just let you know we have an upcoming cohort on ISSOs. What you need to know to be an ISSO, everything that You need to be an ISSO is going to be in that course. We're going to have it at the end of the month. So make sure you hit that link in the description if you want to check out the course. And then too, if you want to start working in the EMAS simulator, just check it out. We have an EMAS simulator on RMF Academy. And if you want any RMF resources, check out RMF Academy. And remember, subscribe, like, and share the video. But remember, everybody, you're only going to get 1% better every day. You're not going to know everything, so keep going and keep doing what you got to do. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you on the next video.